Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's TPM5 here, back again with another NBA video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Utah Jazz and why I believe Rudy Gobert is a big problem for the team going forward, and to speak through my mindset there. So without further ado, let's get started. So before I go any further in the video, I know that Rudy Gobert is a very important player for the Utah Jazz, and he's a big part of what they do, and is a reason why they were the fourth best team in defensive rating last year. He was averaging 14 points and 14 rebounds, and obviously was a great defender for them and is a big part of what they do. But the thing is with him, when it comes to the playoffs, which is when it kind of really matters, we saw in that Clippers series against Terrence Mann in particular. Terrence Mann got 39 points, I believe, which was amazing, a great performance, but when you look at the play-by-play, it doesn't really paint a good picture for Rudy Gobert. Most of those were him not closing out, and it was very smart for the Clippers to use a 5-out system to exploit that. And obviously the Jazz are paying this guy a lot of money. He's guaranteed 185 million over the next few years, so they can't just sit him when it's a big part of their rotations and schemes. So luckily for the Jazz, they did get Hassan Whiteside as a backup. He might be able to do more for them on the perimeter, but I wouldn't count on that either. So the whole dynamic where they're paying Rudy Gobert a lot of money is a strange one. Obviously, during the regular season, he makes them, and he was a reason why, well, obviously Donovan Mitchell too, but it was part of the reason why they had a 52-20 record and were the best team record-wise in the NBA. But when it comes to the playoffs, the the track record's there. 2018-19, they lost in the Western Conference first round. In 2019-20, they lost in the first round as well. And then this year, they bucked the trend by making it to the conference semifinals. But you would expect that considering they were the first seed and they were matched up against the Grizzlies that made a few surprises to even make it past the play-in. Now just a quick break guys, I make NBA content 2 to 3 times a week at minimum. I'd heavily appreciate it if you subscribe. Also don't forget to comment, like the video as well. And any returning subscribers, I'd like to thank you guys again for your support. And let's keep going with the video. So another reason why, I titled this video and, made the thumbnail kind of dramatic was because the Jazz have committed 145.3 million for this season. And that amount, even until, next year is above the luxury tax. So that they've committed to this roster, and the only way they can get better or make a significant change by trading and making trades. Rudy Gobert gets paid 35.3 million this year, which is the highest than Donovan Mitchell 28, and then Mike Conley as well. Now, do the Jazz persist with this? We're going to be good in the regular season, but we're going to have issues in the playoffs, or do they make some changes? Now I'm just going to go through some of their off-season moves and see if that does anything for them when it comes to Rudy Gobert, and if that can nullify some of the weaknesses that he had. Now they signed Eric Pascal on a minimum contract, which is actually a very big deal considering they're in the luxury tax, and it will be lowering the luxury tax bill in that regard. They won't have to pay too much extra on that. Now Hassan Whiteside, as I mentioned before, was a very smart move from the Jazz. They traded away favors to OKC, sacrificing a first-round pick for cap flexibility, and obviously now he's a convenient player for them to have as a backup, and he is a lot cheaper as well. Last season in Sacramento, in just 15.2 minutes per night, he was averaging 8 points, 6 rebounds, and also 1.3 blocks. So if you put that at 30 minutes, that's 16.2, 12, and 2.6. So kind of similar numbers to what he's been doing for his whole career. Now, Hassan Whiteside doesn't solve the, shooting issues with Hassan Whiteside and Rudy Gobert, but what he does do is he does allow the Jazz to play him at center or power forward next to Gobert. He played a substantial amount of minutes at center in terms of, in the rotation, and a lot of, specifically to play at the center. He played a lot of time there, a lot more than what you'd expect. So if the going gets tough, or they play a system when Nicholas Batum is the center they're playing against, he can be that stretch big, and he can also hold his own as well. He's a significant upgrade on Georges Niang, who left to the Philadelphia 76ers. So overall, I'm pretty high on the Rudy Gay signing, and I'm pretty sure it was just 12 million for 2 years, I think. Now the last move in free agency I'd like to talk about is the re-signing of Mike Conley to a 3 years, 72 million. The last year of that deal is not fully guaranteed, so there might be some cap relief for them. He's 33. It probably is a vast, a bit of an overpay when you look at it for next season, but it's something they had to do, and it was a pretty important part of their as of their playoffs. And a lot of people believe that if he was at full strength against the Clippers, they could have won. I'm not going to delve too deep into that, but because they shouldn't have been in a position where they lost to a Kawhi-less team anyway. But obviously, it's a move they had to make. Overall, I think that the Jazz will be another great year in the regular season, probably up in the top 4 or 5 of the conference. But then in the playoffs, I can't really see much more than a Western Conference semifinals appearance. So that brings me to the end of the video, guys. Please don't forget to comment what you guys thought. Was I too harsh? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace out.